The race to Jerry World, the Big 12. Last time as we know it, they're not going to just do away with the conference, but Oklahoma and Texas do leave the conference after this season. And the Big 12 does it Hunger Games style in the sense that there is no divisions. Best two teams play for it. If it's a rematch, so be it. Right now, don't look, but it's West Virginia and Oklahoma as the two undefeated teams in the conference. Those are the two that are undefeated right now. Those are the two teams that control their own destiny. Now, I think there's a path for some other party crashers as well. I mean, Oklahoma, West Virginia, if they were to make the conference title game, they don't have to play Texas. They're at Oklahoma November 11th. Like, there's definitely a path for West Virginia. I think Kansas State is also a team that we can't count out just yet. They won the conference last year. I know it's not the same team as last year, but only one conference loss. They're at Texas November 4th. Kansas only has one conference loss. They get Oklahoma at the crib October 28th. Texas Tech, only one loss. I think they've proven they're a tough out with how they've played at Oregon. I'm just saying, there's a lot of craziness that could go on within this conference. So make sure you're dialed into what's going on with the Big 12. So to me, there's a lot of scenarios out there, and I don't want to just dismiss all those scenarios that are out there, but to me, like, we got to kind of trust our eyes here when it comes to predicting this conference. And there's two clear-cut best teams in this conference. Like, if we're making a prediction, we got to go with our eyes. We got to go with our gut. We got to go with what we've seen. Predicting upsets is kind of a week-to-week thing. There's a lot of variance with look-ahead spots and how teams played the week before. And, like, I understand all that. When it comes to season predictions, you just got to pick the best teams. We can't get too in the weeds with upsets and things like that. So, with saying that, there's two of the best teams in the conference, and they played this past weekend. Big 12 fans, you're going to hate to hear that. Going to hate to hear that. And I understand. I don't blame you. These are the two teams that are leaving your conference, and I get it. But Oklahoma and Texas are the best two teams in the conference. From a roster standpoint, I think from a play caller and coaching standpoint, from a quarterback standpoint, shout out Jalen Daniels. I think he deserves some shine as well, but these are the best two teams in the conference. Again, the best two quarterbacks in the conference. So, looking at Texas, their most difficult opponent left on the schedule, for my money, is Kansas State. They play them in Austin. Their most difficult spot is at Iowa State, their second to last week of the season. Never an easy task to go to Ames, Iowa, and get out with a dub. I believe that was actually the Bo Davis game all those years ago where he let them have it on the bus, and I think that was the turning point in Texas football. But even so, I think Texas, they have some losable games on the schedule, but they should win every game that's in front of them. Now, for Oklahoma, it's the same deal. They're at Kansas. They got West Virginia at home. I think I might have said Kansas was at home. They play Kansas is the bottom line. Yeah, they're at Kansas and they got West Virginia at home. Never mind. We're not off base there. They have Oklahoma State in Stillwater, which is a rivalry game. All games that could be tricky. All games that could be that wire for you, Home Alone style, that cause you to trip over it. And maybe the season looks different after that game. But, like, for us, you just got to pick what you see here. And Oklahoma should handle business in all those games. Oklahoma and Texas for the Big 12 title. In Jerry World. Bright lights, big city, college football playoff implications potentially if what happens and how we think it's going to happen with all these teams running the table the way that we think they can. I think that it's very, very difficult to beat a team twice. So if this happens, if we get this matchup, we'll pick it again when it gets here, and we reserve the right to change our prediction based on what happens these next 6 weeks. But, like, at the end of the day, I just think it's so tough to beat any team twice. I think it's especially difficult to beat a really talented team twice and a really well-coached team twice. And I think that's what Texas is. So we're not dismissing what happened in Red River. We're not just saying that doesn't matter. We'll talk about the college football playoff race here in just a few segments, but I think Texas does win the Big 12. They avenge their only loss on the season, and I think that they're putting themselves very squarely in that conversation to be selected for that Final Four on Selection Sunday. So we got Oklahoma with one loss and Texas as a one-loss conference champ. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.